Hello and welcome to episode 15 of our Timberborn 1.0 full release playthrough here with Folktales faction on the Down the Plughole map, cycle 22, day 8, where last time we started rebuilding the dam, took care of a couple things, and today probably not going to focus as much on this, but I do need to have another staircase here so they can put these pieces of terrain in place. We're probably going to leave this alone until the next drought so we can actually send beavers down in here. What has to happen today, by very popular demand, the keep it simple, stupid, shut up and do it lodge placement. There you go. We just need more beavers. I don't have the time to actually sit here and design something that is going to be perfect when we need something right now. So we're going to get some more beavers in here, get these numbers up, and also work on optimizing some workplace things. Starting with taking our dirt excavator down to a single beaver, and coming over here, pausing this forester and this herbalist outright because we don't need those right now at all. Thank you, autosave, for doing that to me every single time. And now, oh man, I have spent so much time today trying to figure out how to articulate what I want to do with this, and it has been very frustrating. But I think I've got it figured out. A lot of you who are a whole lot better at the automation stuff than I can possibly hope to be have given me some instructions that I'm trying very hard to follow on how to automate these things. Basically what I want to do is make it so that these buildings will only produce when there is material to consume and the storage for the desired item is not also full. I have tried so many times to figure this out. I really hope this is the one that's going to work. But the gist is, every type of material that we're producing over here will need to have two resource counters, one for the input product and one for the output product. And then behind that, we put in a relay set to AND for this one and this one. So let's start with planks. Again, I really hope this makes sense. I'm sorry if it doesn't. I have to do this. I'm trying to make planks. So if this is going to be the input, it doesn't need to be planks. It needs to be logs, first of all. This one needs to be planks. This is going to be the output. So if I want the lumber mills to turn on, the amount of logs available, for example, just say 5%, log storage has to have at least 5% full for this to activate. And if I want to shut off production before the storage of the output fills up, I want this to be set to 95%. So when plank storage gets to 95%, these will shut off. And as soon as I actually attach these, then that's fine, all good to go. But I'm automating it to the relays. Yes, we're going to rename them. If I can manage to get this to work, then I have an idea for a bonus, we'll call it emergency production, that'll kick on under a certain percentage with some of these, and we can assign different numbers to different sets of relays, depending on what our demands are looking like. So for right now, we're going to call this planks log availability. Oh, of course, that truncated it. Can I just change this? There we go, so I can have the full thing. This is going to be for planks storage fullness. Makes the most sense. Then we're going to call this plank. I know it's called a lumber mill, but it's just for the purpose of organization, we're going to call it plank factory status. So, these lumber mills are going to get automated to plank factory status. Right now, just all of them. And then I can individually pause those as I see fit. So, because these haven't been finished and they're not working, it's going to just automatically pause those. Because that's how it works. But let's get this popped in here. So this is on because the log storage that we currently have filled is greater than the 5% threshold. But because this isn't completely built, it's not going to actually work. But I hope this makes sense. I really hope this does. Let's get this finished up here, speed through the rest of the night, and then hopefully I'll be able to demonstrate that this actually is functional, and then we can go back in and add the rest. But of course we're also going to have to put in stuff for the lumberjack flags and all that to automate as well, but let's go one step at a time here. And they should be able to just come in and finish the construction, and the relay should light up. Whenever someone decides to come over, there we go. Alright, so these are both on, which means this is on because it's an AND relay. So at any point, if any of these become off, this will immediately turn off. I'm not putting timers on this. That seems completely overkill and also another opportunity for me to make a bad mistake. So we're going to leave that alone. So this is plank factory status. Now that we know this works, we can do the same thing. In fact, I'm going to just duplicate it. And then we'll change it to the correct setup here. So this is going to go here. That's going to go here. We're going to go ahead, since this is already here, we're going to call this... I know it's called a gear workshop, but for the sake of... I think that's what I put. Status. Yeah. We're just going to call it that. So this is planks log availability. This is going to be gears plank availability, assuming this is going to fit. And it does. And that one was plank storage fullness. This one is going to be gears storage fullness. Oh, that actually fits. Alright, so now I need to change this from measuring logs to measuring planks. And this needs to be changed to measuring gears. And then that needs to be set there. So that, of course, is on because, well, we have more than 5% of the plank storage filled. And as soon as this is finished, then this should also turn on because our gear storage is below 95%. Then that means the gear factory status relay is on. So we automate to that. Same deal for all of these for now. Again, we'll talk about this other thing, assuming I can get the rest of this set up. This is also Gear Workshop. So now that has started, except the ones that I've manually paused. That has enabled all of these, and so we don't, completely run out of beavers. I know it says we have 0 and 0 here, but that's not going to be a thing pretty soon. I'm going to pause half of the planks, and I've already paused 5 out of the 6 gear things. But it's set up correctly, and that is what matters. So the next thing I want to put over here is going to be for paper. So once again, I'm going to just copy the last one I did because that's the easiest way to do this. And then get that relay. This has to be paused so they can actually access this. But this is going to be, what did I name this? Gear factory status. We're going to put this paper factory status. Again, I know that's not what the building's called. That's just how that has to be. Paper gets made, if you look in here, just straight from logs. So I actually could have just copied this. Let's copy the settings and just paste that. But this one does need to be set to paper. And that can still be at 95%. So that should help us out tremendously to get these going. And then I'm going to need 3 more sets here for both things out of the printing press and then also the treated planks that come out of the wood workshops, even though they're not over here. I'm going to put it over here. So that's done. That can be unpaused. Same kind of story here. So, to do the printing presses, and I know we're not making punch cards, but I'm going to go ahead and set it up. Going to just take here. I probably shouldn't flip these because I'm going to be confused, but it's going to look better, so I'm going to do that. That is going to just... It's going to make things easier. Just know that's the best way that makes sense to me. So the printing presses are kind of a complicated thing because they have multiple sets of things to go in. But because of how we have these things set up, the materials that are, being fed into the printing presses are already set up to fill the demand that's going to exist. So, actually the way that this is The way that this is, I only need to have one set up to stop production when the thing is full. Otherwise, it can just be completely on. Which means I don't need the AND relays, do I? I don't. So, let's skip that. And then, instead do the wood workshops. And again, this is another one of those complicated things. Okay, I should have thought this through just a little bit more before hitting record, and I'm not going to start over, so you get to figure it out with me. Let's not worry about those yet. I'm really going to have to figure this out in a different way. But at least we have these taken care of. I haven't renamed these. Gears, plank availability, paper, log availability. Yeah, this just got a lot more complicated trying to do these multi-ingredient things. You know how we do things here. We don't give up. We just keep on flailing around until someone feels sad enough to figure out how to explain it to me. So forget this for the time being. Let's take care of the inputs, which for all of this is just log. That's it. That's the only one. So that just is a simple resource counter, which I'm going to put right here because it's going to cause the fewest problems. These aren't connected to anything, are they? All right, so this has to be logs. Let's go ahead and rename this. Logs storage fullness. So, at any point in time where this is lower than 100%, we want this to be on. So we can actually have these things shut off. These things being the lumberjack flags shut off. I need to, and this is going to be pretty annoying, I need to have these all set up correctly here. So log storage fullness. See, the problem is I don't remember exactly where I have all of these things set, and we're going to have to probably go around the whole map to do this. But automating the log things to turn on when we do not have enough logs is going to save us some labor. It's going to be just a little bit less dumb. And I don't exactly remember where I have the rest of these. And they're okay. Theoretically, there's probably some super complicated way to detect if something has grown on here. But I'm not going to attempt to figure that out because that would just be extremely frustrating to watch. So instead, I'm just going to automate all these, make sure that we have trees started to be planted here. Actually, this one can just be removed, because what I have to do here is put in contamination barriers, which I'm assuming I can get away with just doing a little bit of this. Let's take these out. Is this already empty? Yeah. And then I just need to have contamination barrier go all the way down here so that the bad water doesn't, contaminate things, as one does. Getting a path across here probably isn't necessary in terms of transportation because they have zip lines, but to get beavers to this other side here, I think it's probably just going to make more sense to have them go across this. I know that might not be the ideal solution, but it's the solution that's going to work, and that is what we are going to do. So we've got this space here that also needs to be dammed up. Fortunately, it is not going to be a very difficult thing for us to do that. I'm going to pop in, let's say there, 2 just regular floodgates constantly set to 0.95. No need to automate these whatsoever. They should be able to, without this becoming a huge ordeal, just build all of this. Of course, they're going to focus on that first. But that's going to keep this stocked up, ready to go. And then to have any trees grown, we have a couple of options. I think probably the easiest way to do it is going to be to just put something right about here. And that, of course, has the lumberjack flags ready to go. I probably should put 2 over here as well. The amount of lumberjack flags that can actually service one of these has changed because of the way that they've calculated something or the other. It used to be 8. Now I think it's closer to 10. It either went up or it either went down. You old, yeah, dumb. It could only go one way. Look. They changed so much about this game in the past couple months. It is really hard for me to keep up. But we're trying. So that's already automated. That's fine. We got those 5 there. We do have underground piles for logs. Most of these places. That was something somebody said I really should make sure that I've got nailed down. This one does not have one. But this one does. And I don't really have a great place to put one over here because it does have to be on actual ground. But seeing how many logs we actually have that are not a problem, I'm just going to clear this out straight in front of this zipline station, put one of these in here, and not worry about it ever again. Is that automated? It is. Very good. I know they're still working on this, and that's going to be a process that might even just take time. But I know I can do that. I can get that taken care of. This needs to be set as well. I know these are not all marked for cutting. Most of them might be. It's very hard to see until these trees are actually planted because, well, the ghost of the unplanted tree, or it's not a ghost if it's not something that was previously alive and now has died. So what would that be if it is a representation of something that has not yet existed? Anyway, semantics aside, we'll have to come back and check on this at some point. But we're working on it. We're trying to make an infallible log distribution system. And no, I have not forgotten about the raft mod. We're going to put that off for a little while. I'll explain a little bit of that later. Not this episode, later, just later in general. There's none of those over here. This needs to be set to log storage fullness. I do have some wood workshop stuff going on here. When we get to that point where we are doing automation for that, then we'll do that. This one needs to be set to plank factory status, which I hope is what I set these to. Yes, okay. So we know this is working. That's very good. I've been... Oh, man, I've been... Okay, I shouldn't say I've been so stressed out about this because it is only a game, but at this point, we're like a month and a half into the automation stuff, and it's still absolutely just curb stomping me, and it makes me feel legitimately upset that I have not managed to figure this out. So I appreciate those of you who have been understanding on my my difficulty doing that. And the rest of you, well, I'm still glad you're here, but please try to understand it. Not everybody can be as smart as you. I think I've got that figured out for the simple one ingredient automation stuff, except metal. And the problem we have with metal is we don't have any scrap. Now, that doesn't mean we don't have scrap available on the map. But I think, given how the rest of this is currently set up, and again, we're going to get to the raft stuff eventually, I think it's just going to make the most sense at this point in time to get a mine unlocked, pop this in here, and then, since this is right next to a zipline station, that should be pretty simple. This requires components that we do actually have available to build, and this will also require that we put in a pile. It's not going to fit there, but it will fit right here. So that's going to be scrap metal supply. And then, obviously, if we have scrap metal over here, which I have not actually built one yet, that's an opportunity to fix this right now. Now, it is objectively kind of stupid that this is possible, but at this point, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it. I've got this that can be blown up. I've got, see, I want to put in 1, 2, I got 2.5 that I could actually pop in here. Let's do this. Let's go down in an earlier round. Let's go here. Let's go here. The only reason I'm doing this is so I don't have to send them up here and do all sorts of nonsense. We have plenty of the rest of the stuff. It's not going to be an issue. I want an input and I want an output so I can actually have something ready to go with the underground piles because that's going to have more storage space. So that means that since we're doing this right here, we have to have resource counters available. We have to have a relay for the metal. So, since that is right here, what I will do, in pursuit of something looking not completely terrible, is I will put those resource counters there. I will put the relay in question right here. This is going... What in the world did I name these things? Plank factory status. We're going to put metal. I know it's not what it's called. Metal factory status. It's easier this way. So now they can work on this. These can be automated to that. And again, I have these manually paused on the outside because we didn't need the production and we didn't have enough beavers. You know what I forgot to do? And that's very, very irritating to me, is I did not modulate the lodges coming online. That is annoying, but I guess it's not a big problem because we still only have 26% of the adult population as children. That's not how that works. We have 26 kits and 100 adults. I know, again, look, if you understood the past 30 years of my relationship with math in a scholastic setting, you'd understand. So that hopefully is going to be fine. I still want to figure out a way to do the printing presses with the different ingredients. I think I probably don't need to add any additional resource counters besides the ones that already exist. But again, I don't want to be super wrong here. But because these are different, they're different requirements, I don't have anything for paper as an ingredient, but I do have something for planks as an ingredient. So in theory, I could do this with just one additional set of, what are these called? Resource counters. And I could just use this same plank availability thing. But I worry about not duplicating this because then I'm not going to see this stuff in a specific position and I'm going to think it doesn't exist. Object permanence, etc. Okay, I'm going to possibly regret doing this, but I'm going to make the effort now to try, operative term being try, to do printing press automation. So, and these need to be ands. I should have just copied those. Well, we have a drought coming up, which means I have 3 days to mess with this before we go and fix the rest of the dam area. Okay, we're going to pause so I don't have the creaking noise driving me insane, and we're going to think through this. Alright, so I have printing press for punch cards, printing press for books. So, we're going to call this... I know punch cards is 2 words, I have to save space. Punch cards... No, that's not the naming convention I had. Plank factory status. We'll call this punch card press status. Does that fit? It does. That's not punch card, that's punch ard. That's not how that works. Punch card? Yes, there we go. And then this can be books. I think it was... Did I say press? Never ever get short-term memory loss, kids. Okay, so punch cards, ingredients, are different. Oh, the books is literally just paper. Okay. Okay, well that makes it slightly less horrifying. So maybe this was actually fine the entire time and I was just freaking out for no reason. That's never happened before. I needed that to be copy-pasted. Paper storage fullness. So this I copied because I wanted that to be preserved because I didn't trust myself to remember that. So if book storage reaches 95% fullness, then this will not activate. Is that what I named this? Paper storage fullness? Yes. All right. Let's... Books storage fullness. There we go. I guess the better question that I really should... Okay, so it doesn't care having the hyphen after it. If it's not called a hyphen, if it's called something else, I don't care. I just need this to be in the same spot, and it is. All right, cool. Okay, now I lost my train of thought. This was this is supposed to be storage fullness, and then I need paper as an ingredient, which I can just copy this. So we're going to call this books paper availability. But punch cards are also going to read off of this. It's just, I'm just going to use the same thing. Then that can be for paper. All right. So that, hello, lag, thank you. That should be fine. Now I need this duplicated here, but for punch cards. And then, because I have the same ingredient for this thing, punch card pressed, oh, I didn't select these. That has to go there, that has to go there. This also... Okay, this is going to need another relay. This is going to need another relay. This relay needs to activate when another relay that is also an AND relay. Is that when I would use a pass-through? Yes, okay. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. So this is punch card press status. We're going to call this punch card. Resources okay. How about that? I think that fits. So punch card resources okay is an AND that checks paper and checks planks from the gears thing. That's just how that's going to go. So when this turns on, this turns on. This turns on, this turns on. So this is what we automate. I really hope this works. This is what we automate the punch cards to. That's books. That's also books. Okay. I'm like 99% sure this is going to work. We do, of course, have to wait for them to build this, which I don't have to tell you. That should be accessible. Let's get this back up here. Okay, this is... Okay, they are starting planting now. This might look like it's a super awful size thing, but remember, we already have a 3x3 here with some extensions, so technically it's fine. So that's looking good. This is looking better. This has been prepared for this to go in here. This has to be a log storage. Working on this. Has a lot of stuff going on. I know we still have to automate all of these things. Have the underground pile for scrap metal's fine. They haven't built this yet, and I can't do that until we get there. This is what turns on the lumberjack flags. We're going to have another one to turn on... What do you call it? Oh, I wanted to put the... no, I couldn't put the resource counter there. Where am I supposed to put the resource counter for what I want to do here? Alright, here's what we're going to do, just because this is in the pursuit of symmetry. Thank you, autosave. Come and get your logs and planks. I know we have a billion of them, but come and get them. Come and get them. Anybody? Anybody? There you go. This is where I'm going to put in a resource counter for the other stuff. Don't worry, we can still get up here. This is for scrap metal. What in the world did I name this? Logs storage fullness. We'll call this scrap storage fullness. If I have room, I'll do scrap metal. But I think that's fine. So, if this is less than 100%, it is on. This can be assigned to this mine, which we can do that before it's finished. And then if I had any of the scavenger flags, that's what I would also assign that to. That is my sincere hope that that is, you know, possible to be finished. It looks like it's about to be done. Yep, now they just have to finish doing that. We have 12 extra beavers. I'm not going to commit 10 beavers to them at this time. This does have to have treated planks as an ingredient, so that is going to go here. I do know we're not currently producing treated planks in any huge capacity. This... Wait a minute. Why is this paused by automation? This should not be paused by automation because we have no scrap metal. Okay. I did something wrong. Oh, it's not built yet. Okay, never mind. Never mind. This is actually right. It just hasn't been built. Let's get this done here so I can make sure this is actually working. Okay, it's on, which means we should see this is on, and it is. We just don't have treated planks. That has to be... I can't just high prioritize everything because then nothing's prioritized. We all saw The Incredibles. Let's see. That's going to get me most of where I want to go. That should be fine. This is not on, but this is still on. Which one is this? That's punch card. That's punch card measurement. This is pass-through resources. Okay. That's not what I wanted. I did not want pass-through. I wanted and. I wanted the other and to be this. Okay. Crisis averted. Well, it's not really a crisis, but you get the idea. If you already left a comment telling me to fix that, I'm glad that you're paying attention. Thank you for your service. So metal factory status should be on. This is not supposed to be tied to Planck's log availability. That's okay. Because I haven't built the, what do you call it yet? I hope I can remember which one of these was supposed to be which. Okay, so this, instead of log, needs to be... Come on. Scrap metal. 7 days. I'm going to hit pause just so I can, you know, think for a second. Then that needs to be metal block. There we go, and then that goes to there, and that goes to there. 99.99999% sure this is correct. This should be okay. Come on, there we go. This needs to be underground pile, underground pile. It's going to put that on the top in a way I can't get it, isn't it? You betcha! Alright, we're going to leave that there for 15 days because I know how much you guys love that. That's going to be for scrap metal. That's going to be for metal blocks. This needs to be set to obtain. This needs to be set to supply. I know we have some over here. That's fine. That can stay there. So, to my knowledge... Yeah, okay, so these aren't on. These are, well, they're not on anyway. These are paused by automation because we only have 2% fullness on the scrap metal, so it's going to wait for the supply to catch up. Wait, how'd they get up here? How do they get up here? By what manner did you come up? There is not a chance. No way. No way. This is like 40 blocks away. How did... Okay, you know what? I'm not going to question it. It just... They solved the problem. I don't have to worry about it. Alright. We are in a drought situation. Which means, as soon as the rest of this flows out, it's going to be perfectly safe for us to get in here and continue working on our dam. Now, I have additional tunnels put in place here. The guesstimations on you guys in the comments in terms of flow throughput here is that we need 8 CMS capacity, and 4 of these would give us that. But, of course, I do have to wait for this to be totally dry. It is just about dry. We're going to see that very shortly. That should... Hopefully... Yep, there it goes. That should help take care of that. This can be K for kaboomed. And then this also has to be single K for kaboomed. Let's take this out of triple speed. Not that it really matters. But this is where we're putting our, what do you call it? The thing. Sewer, whatever. Somebody left a comment that I was kind of confused about, so I did want to check it out, I guess, during the video. But they said that the bad water sources are all connected already. I don't see that. I really don't. So if that was you, I do not remember who it was. Apologies, but this and this are connected, but this one on the other side here is not. I believe what this person was trying to say is that I didn't have to make some sort of super complicated thing if some of it already existed. So hopefully that's interpreting it correctly. But I can tap into this bit probably right to about here and stop it from coming up so high in, come on, lag. But this is on level 9 already, and remember that we're trying to get this down to level 2. Which, you know, is not necessarily a difficult thing. We just have to probably build over the course of many, many cycles a tunnel to get down in here. But I think that is going to be probably the best thing we could do. Now, we have 6 days. I have a limited capacity to make additional dynamite because we can't pump bad water that isn't here. So I'm going to say, and I know I need to automate this too, but I'm not gonna mess with any more of that today. My brain's already fried. We have plenty of extract. I can only do 62 tunnel pieces. So if I'm going to be doing that, I would rather, quote-unquote, future-proof for bad tides and take care of the stuff here than focus on getting a huge tunnel thing set up there. So I hope you can be okay with that. What I really need to do is get this blasted out, get this blasted out, which is also going to require this and this, and then I need to get beavers in here to blast this. Why was this? Why did I do that? That didn't make any sense at all. Ugh, alright, well. Easiest way to... it's not really an easy way. Most convenient way to solve this, assuming we can actually do this in 6 days, is to pop this in, this in, this in, this in, and run a path through it. Make sure that is put in place, and that's put in place, and we do the same kind of thing over here. So I think that's going to be the best I can do. They should be able to do this. No, that wasn't the right button. There we go. So that's what we're going to have to be working on right now. Obviously, they can't do anything with this, and we need to have more pumps in place. But I was reluctant to modify most of this until I was absolutely certain it would never, ever, ever flood. And for obvious reasons, you can hopefully understand why that's a thing that I'm concerned with. Now I can expand this one more because I have scrap metal in the way. I can expand this one more. I can take out these thorns, but I do need to make sure this gets taken care of before I go too much further. And I can put one more of these things in here. I'm like 99% sure I can just do this. Yeah, then that's got to be a double. They'll get to this because there's stuff here. Actually, only one of these can work at a time, so I don't need two. I just want these 61 pieces removed, and then we'll have another bad water thing, and then as soon as that one's done, I can get rid of the other thing, and I can just have this go completely in a straight line, and everything's going to be perfectly fine for the rest of time. Why is this not... Really? Did I... Oh. Well... You know... It's fine. Don't worry about it. Okay, this is going... We do have a lot of storage for scrap metal. We've got 2560, and I only have 103. That's probably why that hasn't turned on. Well, it's not probably why. That is why it's not turned on. Treated planks shouldn't be that big of an issue. I guess this does need to be set to obtain. Yeah, that's going to be probably the only real way to do that. Get that automated. Yeah, because that is turned on. We get one every 3.6 hours, turning into 5 of these. I guess that's alright. We're not going to outpace that production anyway. Is this... okay. That's fine. That's also fine. I think we're looking all right. We don't have enough. We don't have enough wheat. The food situation is just really not good. Need to do something about that. But this is the thing at hand right now. Really need to. Of course, that side got done first. All right. Well, we don't need to have loyalty to any specific side. I just need this to work. Just need them to come up here, put the rest of this dirt in place, blast this out. And then I think that's going to probably solve our issues here. This is down to... oh, that's not going to get done at all. It's only down to 59. Well, we're doing something. And that's what counts. Just have to wait. These poor guys are exhausted because it's the end of the workday. It's the beginning of the next workday, and they're still doing the work from the night before. If you've been there, you'll understand. Yeah, I guess they're just going to take their time doing what they want to do, huh? I do have extra beavers I probably should be putting to use, but I don't want to leave this or I'm going to forget what I'm doing. Yes, they're going to go home and sleep now. I haven't brought anything to this yet. Haven't brought anything to that. But they are in range, so eventually they'll get that taken care of. We will have to take the stairs out, put in a another piece of dynamite when we get to that point, and I do only have a certain amount until the next temperate cycle. So we really want them to finish this as fast as possible, because then I can put the throttling valve in. I guess technically I could just build stairs down this way, but I don't think they can walk through this. We will get there. They're just waiting on this. Yeah. Do I want to have tunnels underneath these? It won't destroy the scrap metal if I only do this lower level. I think at this point that's probably asking a little bit too much. We probably shouldn't tempt it. They got 3 days. They can definitely put the rest of this in. Since this side has nothing going on. That has not been finished. And I need that to be finished before I can put another throttling valve in. Yeah, we're just kind of blocked up here. Okay. That's done. Let's put that there. We can K for kaboom this, because that's not a problem. This next bit is going to be, well, next. I guess we don't actually need these stairs here to do this, because I can just K for kaboom. They can just walk over there and do it. I do need the stairs for this still, so that's a thing. Is this one done? It is. That'll be supported just fine. I'm going to duplicate this throttling valve there. That needs to be a priority. Then as soon as the rest of this is done, that'll be good to go. Okay. K for kaboom. K for kaboom. Nobody dies. And then that gets picked up. We got planks on the ground. They'll pick those up. Should not be an issue. This is down to 38. This can go, you know, during a temperate cycle, provided no flooding occurs. So that's fine. Let's do that. Come get your planks. Or don't. I'm not your dad. And then I can just copy this again. But I do want them to come over here and get their planks. I think, seeing what we see here, I think we can be pretty confident this is going to be enough. So this is 2 meters per second, 2 meters per second, 2 meters per second. This one will also be 2 meters per second. Provided I've got materials, which I still do, thankfully. So that's good. This was the big problem we were going to have. I was pretty sure It's going to be annoying to solve. If 8 is not enough, we should prepare for that by putting in another one here. But I do want to be careful not to have all of this go completely out without there being a guarantee that we'd finish all of this. I think we can still build this in the next day and a half, and then maybe another half day after that before everything gets filled back in. We will have to wait and see. I do have to... Okay, yeah, we're doing fine now. This should be okay. Yeah, I just need this one. They don't have any pieces for that yet. Of course they don't. And this one in the middle... I guess I should have these synchronized, and I can just adjust it as I see fit. Yeah, but this one's going to have to wait. So, once this is taken care of, I think the easiest thing to do is going to be to try and find another way to start that tunnel to go back to the bad water sources, and then only connect it to the bad water sources at such a time as it is convenient. Let's pause this. To avoid chaos. Not going to worry about that. So this is going to be connected here. That's fine. Absolute highest priority. Get that built lickety-split, please, and thank you. Just a little bit of path cleanup. I hope they can actually get this. Okay, they're going to have it done. That's going to be fine. So what happens now... this is already here. We don't have to worry about it. We're just going to have to... the easy way to do it is just put in triple platforms, and on top of the platforms put in the... what do you call it? The things. Impermeable floors. There we go. Okay, so this is done. Thankfully. No more stairs. You have lost stairs privileges. And that is going to give us the bare minimum of what we need to do to get started on the first bit of bad water holding area separation thing. That's good progress. As long as we can keep the flow low enough to not overtop this, we're going to be in good shape. That's fine there. I think probably long term, I'll just have this go straight back. And then it can connect to... Where is that? It's on a level 9. Oh, that's a lot further than I thought. Can connect to this. And then here. Okay, so... Oh, that's going to be... That's going to be like 5 episodes worth of building, probably. Well, we'll get to it when we get to it. Anyway, I'm bad at explaining this. I'm sorry. We just need to keep on keeping on. This is what gets the cap on it, and I hope this is able to make sense. I think I should be able to, depending on what they can reach. I don't think they can actually reach much more of this. I just need to cap this. In all honesty, and I'm kind of, to some degree, out of ideas. To try... I'm not out of ideas to do this. I'm out of ideas on how to try and explain it. If that makes sense. So that's going to have to go there and there. I'm just trying to make sure that this is going to be okay. Somebody said they wanted me to keep these little rectangular holes here, and I'm like, alright, yeah, that's fine. We can do that. But I am going to get this completely filled in. One step at a time. It is a long and arduous process, but one that I believe will be worth the effort. We just have to be able to do everything. Alright, so that's good. Triple speed. Put this back on normal. Trees are growing, trees are being processed, food is still okay. The amount of water we've been pumping has very quietly become a problem over here. Which, again, that's something this is going to help a lot. We can reroute stuff. But these pumps are, pretty much outpacing what we can actually store back here. So let's keep that in mind. It's not a problem yet because we're not out of water, but it is something we're going to want to keep in mind. So that is... Oh, these haven't been named. I've done bad things. Now I don't remember what I was supposed to name these. I do have all these, right? Okay. It's hard for me to switch gears here. So that's planks log availability. Let's call this metal scrap availability. Nope, it has to be a capital. That is what I named this, right? Yes. Scrap availability. Metal storage fullness? Yes, okay. There. And this is the one where this is going to get weird. Book storage fullness, books paper availability, punch card press status. Okay, resource counter one. This is punch card storage. This is probably going to full... No. There, we'll just say that. This one was resource... Okay, so it wasn't as bad as I thought. I just saw a couple that weren't named. I was like, oh no. Okay, here comes clean water. The gravity batteries did their job, but ultimately weren't really that necessary because we had this here and these two contributing. Okay. I got extra beavers. I think it's okay to manually unpause all of these at this point. And I'll tell you why. Because these are not always all going to be on at the same time once we have that initial burst of filling things up, and the population is going to increase. The thing that I was going to propose, or did propose early in the episode, was having emergency production triggers in the way of another set of resource counters for each of the things we're producing, and set those to, say, turn on when storage fullness goes under 10%, and then some of these could be attached to that as a way of permanently decoupling them from normal production, but still having that capacity in reserve for when we really need something to get made. However, I don't think I want to do that right now. So let's just keep that one in the chamber. Come back to it later. As long as I have told you guys about it, and then I am absolutely sure at least a few of you will remember to remind me that that is something I said. Okay, so this is the time where we need to check our flow. That is all going through quite nicely. So this is... The capacity right now is 10, and it's not outpacing. So if we just start lowering this, and it starts coming up, then we'll know that is what we need to do. Alternatively, we can research a stream gauge, and we can just put a stream gauge in, and that'll give us the same information. But I do think... Oh, that's going to be too tall to put there. I can't put that there, because I'm going to put a cap on this. Okay, well, there's not really a good way to do this without doing that. You know what? Never mind. I'm just going to have to take this out. This is just going to have to be a temporary thing so we can actually see what we're doing. I'm very interested to see what the actual flow is. I think it's going to be somewhere between 8 and 10. Hopefully. Somewhere around 9. Well, I guess this is fine, because it can only measure the current at one specific spot, and I do have 5 of these theoretically equally here. So, I mean, 1.8 times 5 is less than 10. It's more than 9. I guess this is fine. Okay, 1.9. It does look like it's rising just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit. Well, I guess the question now is, what would a decent rate be to empty this that would also not cause this to flood? Or maybe this is just ridiculously overcomplicated. I think that's probably closer to what it is. But I am so curious to see what this is. Like, this, fundamentally, this has not changed. Not enough to be, you know, observable at least. Still looks the same. Okay, if I go down to 1.5, surely that's going to be... Yeah, okay. That's 1.5 is still... I mean, it's limiting it to 1.5, but this is raising. Okay, that is really raising too quickly. Okay, let's leave this on 1.75. Maybe that's not great. I have 27 vacancies, and we all know why. We got a lot of injured beavers because they're all getting injured at the places that injure beavers. We'll solve that problem. Maybe. Okay. For now we just have to know that this is adequate for what we're trying to do, and it's almost impossible for something to go horribly wrong. That is what actually matters. And we can take solace in knowing that we've actually kind of solved the problem. Alright. I was supposed to put that there. Get us some more capacity here. I know I have both of these centrifuges paused because we don't need any more extract right now. We'll fix it eventually. The most important thing is that today we solved annoying problems. And we've done most of that. Let's take this out. I'm about 99.999% sure that this is going to do exactly what I want. Just get more of this in. Completely seal this off, and then on, I think, this bit here, yeah, I just need to build this up. They can do this from both sides at those levels, and then any higher than that is going to have a continuation of what we're doing here. Now this backside can stay more or less perfectly flat, and then the earthen bits on this side, of course, how real dams are made, they have substantially more on this side to prevent stuff from moving. Well, it depends on the construction of the dam. Technically, an earthen dam is going to have the same mass on both sides of the center. But I'm not a hydro engineer. I'm not any type of engineer except a model train engineer. That's a very fun type that does not require a bunch of education and does not kill people when things go wrong. So I think what's going to happen here is this is going to need to be maybe built all as one slice, I think. I know they're going to build all of this and not be able to build past this height here, which means these are going to come later. But I think this is about as painless as this can be, having this set up this way. So let's leave that alone for now. I know they can reach just about everything from these two things here. Let's come back to this mess, because we've got a lot of injured beavers. We've got a lot of unstaffed buildings. But I wanted to see how fast we could actually make stuff if I didn't have any of these paused. So now that we know it's not a problem, we can pause 3 of those. I'm going to pause 4 of the gear workshops, and because these are already basically paused, I'm going to pause 2 of the printing presses. I'm going to keep the smelters going because we probably should be making a bunch of metal for the stuff we want to do in the future. That gets us down to -17, which isn't really a problem anyway because we have all these slush jobs. This stuff is looking better. We're making progress. What else did I have on my list for things I wanted to attempt to fix? I think that covers most of it. We do need to get this cleared out. That is going to injure some beavers. But it's something we need to do. So why don't we just turbo mark all of these resources for demolition. And look, there's even a natural overhang for us to bring power directly over this way. That is what we're doing in that area, by the way, if you don't remember from me saying that a couple episodes ago. So we've started the process. We could transcontinental railroad this thing and come in from both sides. And I think that would be a smarter way to do it. They will get to it in due time, because that is what they always do. This does not need to be running. I can't believe I still have that going. Well, I kind of can believe it, but... slowly increasing our storage of bad water. We probably should build another one of these bad water tanks, depending on what else we're trying to do. I'm going to leave it alone for now. But eventually, we're going to be in a much better state for taking care of most of this. I think we're okay. I think we're fine. I just have to, you know, not get too psyched out by attempting to commit math. So I guess this is what we'll sit here and watch this for a little bit while we do end of episode stuff. I appreciate you guys sticking around. I appreciate those of you who are trying to teach me how this works. But it is a process, as we all know. I'm very, very thankful for those of you who support the channel as well, to make it possible for me to not have to have sponsors or do brain rot edits or any of that garbage. I want to have fun playing the Beaver game, and I want to not have to have any other distractions along the way, and those folks make that possible. So, even if you're not on that list, I'm still very glad you're here. I really appreciate your support. Yes, I am starting to get a little frustrated with how the automation stuff works. Don't worry, I will be okay. I am going to be taking some time off here in the next little while. But I am committed to seeing this through as much as I can before that happens. And of course, getting the other stuff taken care of. I'm so incredibly grateful for your support. Please know that you are appreciated. And I'm looking forward to seeing you again soon in whatever comes next for the Beavers. In this series, Project 1K, which will be done sometime in the next week. And then everything else we have going on as well. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Whatever it is you're doing, stay safe, have fun, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.